No, we can go. Go.
You can be who you are and do what you want and be bullied, or you can act like everyone else and not get bullied. What's more worth it? These are the words from a mother to her child. That child was me. I was the boy that used to play with dolls and dress up with other girls. I was beat up, I was thrown into trash cans and stuffed into lockers. This was all due to sexist ideals in society, thinking gender should follow stereotypes. I believe you should raise children gender neutral so they can learn to live a life without limitation and have an open world of expression. Every day we see gender stereotypes. We see how it can hinder growth and also it will affect our future. Today I was talking about gender inequality in the world and how there are gender stereotypes in everyday life. And lastly, we're talking about the opposing views of raising your child gender neutral. In China and India, a male child is seen more valuable because of work in the future. For example, education stops at certain ages for females. This shows already to children that males have a higher image in the role of society. This could stop if the idea of gender neutral was implemented everywhere. It would eventually stop gender inequality. Places like Sweden, on the other hand, are having words added to schools, such as hen. Hen is a replacement word for his or her. Instead of referring to someone as his items, you would say hen's items. According to Elizabeth Braw, who wrote a news article entitled "The Three-Letter Word Driving a Gender-Neutral Revolution," in 2014, it was said the National Union of Teachers, for its part, has launched the Breaking Mold initiative to address gender stereotypes in public school. Recently this year, the word hen was added to the Sweden dictionary. According to Todd Stearns, who wrote a news article entitled "Gender Inclusive School Districts Says Drops Boys and Girls," in 2014, it was said, folks who run the schools in Lincoln, Nebraska are on a campaign to make their classrooms gender inclusive, and that means teachers will no longer refer boys and girls as boys and girls. This is the beginning of adding gender neutral raising to schools. Teachers are receiving handouts that have alternative words instead of referring to children as his or her. I believe that this will prevent bullying and other gender stereotypes in schools. Next, I would talk about the gender inequality that's in our everyday world that we see. Now, you still might be wondering what gender neutral means. Well, raising a child gender neutral means that you're raising your child without any stereotypes based on gender. You would allow them to pick what they want to wear. You can allow them what they want to watch, or what they, maybe something as simple as the toys they play with. For example, when buying children's toys, such as an easy bake oven, we see they're marketed in two ways. For girls, they come in colors such as purple and pinks, and for boys, black and blue. What is the difference of this object? Nothing besides the color, based on the gender stereotype. Another thing we see daily is bullying in schools. According to the GLSEN, the Gay, Lesbian, and Straight Education Network's official website, who conducted research in 2005, it was said the second most common reason for bullying was actual or assumed sexual orientation and gender identity. This is why words such as hen and other things should be implemented in schools to avoid this type of bullying. Before children are even born, there is gender assumption. We've all heard that we should make our nurseries gender neutral with colors such as yellow, but the thing is, after the baby goes into coming the age of a toddler, we start theming their room. Well, for a little boy, we may use a sports-themed room, but this is already showing a child that sports is a masculine thing, showing that boys like sports and boys should do sports. Why is there a difference between a male and female room of sports? There shouldn't be. A female should be able to have a sports room too if she likes sports. Next, I'll be going over the opposing views on raising children gender neutral. It is said that it will make your child gay. Recent research has shown that being gay is more to do with genetics than your environment. If your child is gay, though, it will only show them that you're open and accepting to their life choices. People say that it is also anti-masculine or anti-feminine. Well, this is said because it is going against gender stereotypes. But in all honesty, and female can still have masculine traits, and that can be encouraged in gender-neutral raising. Other people say that this forces your child to be neutral. Well, your child can still be a boy and want to play sports, and that's okay. You can allow them to do that. What I'm saying is you want to show them you have an open mind that they can be accepted whether they choose to do a female thing or not. It doesn't have to be considered female. It's just something that they want to do in life. My call to action is this holiday season, when you're buying children gifts, stop and think. Think about whether or not you're buying this gift off a gender stereotype or if the kid really wants it. If you are, I challenge you to look for a gender-neutral option. Today, I went over gender inequality in the world and how it could possibly be stopped if we start implementing raising children gender-neutral in today's world. Second, I went over the everyday gender inequality that we see and gender stereotypes. And lastly, I went over the opposing views of raising a child gender-neutral. The reason I spoke about children today is because children are the future. If we start raising these children with these ideas, inequality can stop between gender. We may not be able to start this tomorrow, but I'm saying we can start it at home. So one day, a child like this won't have to come home explaining to his mother why he got beat up at school for just being himself.